Canelo Alvarez's trainer says that Charlo is the great fight. It's a media-friendly fight that Canelo would be interested in possibly taking. We're going to talk about that in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button, also subscribe. Listen, we're going to jump right in the mix. 2022, y'all know what to do. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Now, this is what Eddie Reynoso had to recently say in an interview. He says, quote, "I think a Charlo fight with Canelo Alvarez is more media friendly because Jermall Charlo is a fighter that sells more than Artur Beterbiev. Jermall Charlo, he's a fighter that more people follow, and because of that, it's a more attractive fight." Now, the ironic thing about this is you have the Canelo man fans themselves, and the Canelo man fans, let them tell it, it's a completely different situation. And people say that Jermall Charlo, he can't sell, and his name has been linked to possibly fight Canelo since they were both at 154 many years ago, right? And Canelo fans have made excuses as to why Jermall Charlo doesn't deserve a Canelo fight. Now that they're in different divisions and Canelo's team is finally talking about Jermall Charlo as a viable potential option, now all of a sudden everything changes suddenly. Now Canelo versus Charlo is this great fight when they're not even in the same weight class. And Canelo's team will never be able to live down these realities. These are the absolute truth. There are moments where within a pound, when Canelo's at 155 and Jermall Charlo was at 154, they were within a pound of each other, right? There was points where they were at the same exact weight, like 160. But if you guys recall, Canelo Alvarez became the franchise champion, and that elevated Jermall Charlo to the WBC champion, right? Boom. We got action. ESPN. I'm the best in the business. June 27th, 2019. It says Canelo loses a title. Now he is the WBC franchise champion, which is exactly what I just stated. So, at the end of the day, I still think it's a good fight, but me, I'm always going to stay true to myself, and I'm not a fan of somebody moving up and they haven't cleared their previous division and they move up and their first fight is the biggest assignment. Like, even if you look at a great fighter like Andre Ward, he moved up and said he wanted to fight Sullivan Barrera, and he wanted to fight against another tune-up, and then he fought Kovalev. And I think if we're being realistic and if things are on an even playing field, that's what ideally a fighter would want. A fighter would want to acclimate to any new weight class. You see the man on the screen, Floyd Mayweather, the great TBE. Like I said before, Floyd told you. He said, I moved up in weight, but it's a process. It's a process. And I agree with that, wholeheartedly. I know boxers, and, I know what boxers go through, been in boxing gyms, etc. for decade plus at this point. And at the end of the day, it's still a great fight. I'll still pay for the fight. I still want to see it because, like Reynoso is saying, you got the namesake of Jermall Charlo. Clearly, Canelo brings in his fans and whatnot. So it's still a good fight, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention what I'm mentioning to you as I say this. I think there were points in Jermall Charlo's career and Canelo's career that it would have been undeniable, the type of fight that it was. It would have been undeniable because they both were in the same weight class. Now, at this point, Canelo's talking about fighting at cruiserweight, and Canelo has already had a couple of fights, upwards of 160 pounds. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at 164.5. He fought against Rocky Fielding at 168. He fought and became undisputed. So he had a couple fights, Billy Joe Saunders, Avni Yildirim, and Caleb Plant. fights at 168. He even recorded a stoppage over Kovalev, which looked FAF to me, but that was at 175. So at this point, Jermall Charlo, he's coming off a performance where people kind of expected more. Against Fernando Montiel, people expected a different type of fight. And then now, conveniently, that's the performance where Canelo sees probably what he wants to see and has all the experiences I just stated in the higher weight classes, and now he's willing to make it happen. So these are the facts. I still think it's a great fight, but it's funny to see the Canelo fans, the man fans, turncoat. You know, for years I've been pushing for this fight and wanted to see the fight. And as I stated earlier in this video, there are many moments where a fight like that would have been even better, because Jermall Charlo was at some points coming off of very, very good performances. Like immediately after Sergey Derevyanchenko, that was an amazing Jermall Charlo performance. Brandon Adams, the Julian J-Rock Williams. I mean, these are all memorable Charlo performances. Again, you guys could go watch Charlo Montiel and then let me know what you guys think. And, you know, just look at my post-fight content. Just go to the videos. I don't delete any of the videos. And when I'm talking about that fight, and when I was doing the Boxingego watch party, there were just a lot of people who were saying that that particular version of Charlo would lose to this guy and blah, blah, blah. Again, this is now when Canelo's team is speaking on Charlo. So it is what it is. Charlo has to, as a fighter, he has to, you know, forget that. He can't listen to any outside noise and learn what he learned. He did have a hand injury, so that could have complicated things. Hopefully he's healthy now. And, you know, he has to just, that's the nature of boxing. Sometimes you have your best night, and then sometimes you have an okay night. Sometimes you have your worst night. Capturing the W is the most important, and then you move on, you push on, and you keep trucking through it. And that's what Jermall Charlo is going to have to do. So I'll break down the fight if the fight gets announced. I'm not convinced that it absolutely will happen and there won't be any games or anything like that. So I'll just wait to see what happens and keep you guys posted. 2022, it is lit. You do not want to miss the content that we are getting ready to drop on the channel. And, you know, we'll see what happens and transpires with Canelo. Payday. You want payday. Hey, get the out of here. It's my night. Alvarez. On that note, in and out. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.